Hello, this is Derek Old School Fournier coming to you with our Saints wrap-up. The Bucs had to travel to the Louisiana Superdome and get a victory just to ensure a chance at the playoffs. We still needed a lot of help, and sadly that help did not come, as me and about 20 other Bucs fans who were at the game, and there were probably more than that, but I'll tell you what, the Saints fans definitely come out in droves to support their team. We were a vast minority in the Louisiana Superdome. Went on to try and watch the afternoon games where we needed the Washington Redskins to do something they don't do often, which is win. And we needed the Bears to do something they've done pretty well this year, which is win as well, and neither one of them can pull that off. So it was a moot point, despite the fact that we went out and handed the returning Super Bowl champions a loss in their own house. Now, there will be a lot of noise made about the fact that the Saints didn't have Marcus Colston and Pierre Thomas, and that Drew Brees was pulled late in the game, and that they were kind of coasting. If you watch this game, they were not coasting. We were beating their ones. This Buccaneers team, which was a makeshift team as well, which will get lost in the wash because no one knows who the hell plays for the Buccaneers anyway except for Buccaneers fans. But the fact that we're playing with 4 offensive linemen who you would never have guessed would be starting on the squad, other than maybe Jeremy Zuda, only you would expect him to be at guard. Briscoe at wide receiver, LeGarrette Blount, who wasn't even on the squad. It's amazing. I think I looked at one point, there were 7 replacements on defense and 4 replacements on offense, and that's not even going how deep we've had to go to replace those positions. But all in all, Josh Freeman has another great game. LeGarrette Blount crosses 1,000 yards, though he had his lowest yards per carry average, I believe, in the last 5 games at 3.8-ish, 3.5-ish. But all in all, they got done what needed to get done. I tweeted during the game that I was excited by the game plan that was going on. Greg Olsen was driving in the second quarter. I think it was 10-7 Bucs. We were going to drive down there. Looked like we were going to put another score up on the board before halftime. We ran the ball with Blount, 5 yards, 5 yards, 6 yards. Then we started to throw the ball and have some success. We get down to the New Orleans 24-yard line, and we go sack, penalty, sack, fumble. On a questionable fumble, certainly, but it was a fumble. Fortunately, the defense, once again, no-name, makeshift defense. We got Oakham in there. We've got guys playing all over the field who are 3 and 4 levels deep. Managed to get a stop, Asante with the interception. We go in at halftime and then come out after the half and really do continue to put it on the Saints in their own house. It was a great moment for Bucs fans. We had 11 different receivers targeted during the day. 10 actually hit. Josh Johnson, the one guy that we weren't able to hit on the the Wildcat sort of Michael Spurlock throw back across the field. I think Spurlock was actually surprised, to be honest. He had more time than he thought. That wheel route that Josh was going to turn upfield would have been a hell of a play, but I think Michael got a little bit nervous. The throw was good, and I think that Josh had a legitimate beef about the interference, but they're not going to call the interference call for the quarterback running down there. So when you look statistically, the Saints outgained us on the ground. Reggie Bush actually had an uncharacteristically good day. Chris Ivory went out injured. You saw Jenkins go out injured for the Saints as well when he got trucked over by LeGarrette Blount. A lot of people are going to make a lot of noise about Barrett Ruud getting trucked by Chris Ivory, which he did in fact get trucked. But he also was the guy who got in there and forced the fumble on Julius Jones, which was a game-changing event early on, right in front of me in the end zone, which Oakham recovered. We were able to then drive down the field. I believe we got 3 on that particular drive. Now, as a Bucs fan, all we could hope was to go in there and get the victory, which is what we did. Statistically, it was fairly even with the exception of the quarterback play where Josh Freeman truly did a great job. And you saw the playmakers get a chance to make some plays. Mike Williams, most notably, we had a 4th and 1 situation, went with a fake QB dive. It looked like Kellen Winslow was a receiver that was really targeted on the left-hand side. He was held by, I think, about 6 players and then shackled to the ground. Josh Freeman scrambled backwards, went threw the ball up for Mike Williams, who made the play and got the touchdown, even with the quote-unquote PI that could have been there that they called against Kellen Winslow as well. It was very similar, and there was give and take on that play. So I think the takeaways from here, from a Bucs perspective, are we had a couple of keys to the game. We wanted to pound the rock. We wanted to get LeGarrette Blount 25 carries. We did not. I think we got 24 carries total, which I'm still not sure of why we do that, but it won, so I can't complain that much. I just don't understand on the drive where they have no answer for him, unless you're worried about him being tired, why you're not running this kid more. And yes, I get it. He fumbles from time to time. You got to deal with those situations. We wanted to blitz Brees, we wanted to create pressure. We did create pressure on Drew Brees. We didn't create as often as we wanted to. He converted quite a few third downs. I think there were 60%, 50% on third down conversions, 8 of 16, and probably better than that in the first half. But we were able to keep the plays in front of us. One of the game plans we talked about was having our safeties deep, letting him look at the third level, and then forcing him to check it down. And that's exactly what happened. They gave us a chance to get the 3 sacks. One of the sacks led to a fumble. And it allowed us to keep the plays in front of us and really kind of dictate on the defensive side of the ball when we really had no right to do so given the staff that we had on the field. The third one was to take away the home runs, which I just alluded to. So all in all, I'd say we did fairly well in the keys to the game, and we got the victory. And as a Bucs fan, you got to be excited. It sucks to get 10 wins and not make the playoffs. And there's a lot of people bitching about the Seattle Seahawks going in at 7-9, especially if they watched what I've called a 4-year-old slap fight between the Seattle Seahawks and the St. Louis Rams on television that Chris Collinsworth tried to make us believe was an interesting football game, when in actuality it was probably worse than most high school football games you watch. It doesn't make it any better that we just Ike Turnered Seattle the week before, and here we are sitting at home. But this is a great motivational message for the young team. Now, I'm not one of those people who believe that we're better off not making the playoffs. There is a camp that believes that, whether it be for draft position or whether it be because they thought we're going to get run out of the building, which a lot of people thought we would against Philadelphia, though I would point out that Minnesota with Joe Webb did a pretty good job against Philadelphia in that situation. But from a motivational position, this is a great opportunity for Coach Morris to take these kids and say, listen, nothing can be taken for granted. Right? You cannot let close games slip away, because every single game matters. And so as we hope that the NFL and the players can get their crap together and we actually have football next year, the future does look bright. The skill positions look solid. We got guys coming back from injury. We forgot Kareem Huggins even was on the team, but he's there. We got depth at tailback, the wide receiver spots, the tight end spot. All the skill positions look good. Defense is where we're going to need some help. There's going to be a huge free agent pool. There's probably going to be a salary floor that we're going to have to spend up to. So even if you're one of the groups that believes that the Glazers are a nefarious set of owners who don't want to spend money and they're sitting there just counting their money that they're pulling out of the city of Tampa, much like a vampire, they're going to have to spend some money. Now, whether they lock up these young guys or whether they go get some free agents, but the combination of some free agency and draft on the defensive side of the ball with a defensive end, probably some linebacker help, and then some depth in the secondary, and this team looks pretty doggone good. I think you've got an opportunity for Coach of the Year for Coach Morris, so I think Haley's got a legitimate beef. Executive of the Year, Mark Dominic, I don't know how anyone can question what this guy's done. And then Rookie of the Year, I think you got two of the top three in LeGarrette Blount and Mike Williams. I think Sam Bradford makes it in there. I think Sam Bradford takes the award, even though I think Sam Bradford has not had as great a year as people have given him credit for. So this is old school for What the Buck. Let me know what you think about this video, and we'll be doing far less of these in the offseason, but thanks for tuning in all year. And if you do want to follow us, get up on facebook.com/whatthebuck, or go over to whatthebuck.net, and you'll be able to keep track of us following the Breeze and the Storm and all the other Tampa Bay sports in the area. Thanks again.